You're sitting on $1 million idea, but guess what? An idea without money is just a daydream. So here's the big question. How do you get a loan to turn that dream into a real, thriving business, especially when you're just starting out? Because let's face it, banks aren't exactly throwing money at people with no business history. But what if I told you there's a roadmap, a way to get funding even if you don't have years of experience, huge profits, or a business credit score? Today, we're breaking down exactly how to get a startup business loan. Even if you're a complete beginner, stick around, because there's one loan type later in the video that many people skip, but it could be the easiest money you'll ever qualify for. Let's get started. Number 1. What is a startup business loan? Anyway, let's clear up the confusion. A startup business loan is money borrowed to launch or grow a brand new business. It can come from banks, credit unions, online lenders, or even government programs. But here's the twist. Because startups don't have a long business history, these loans often rely heavily on your personal finances and credit. Imagine you're trying to convince a friend to lend you money to open a taco truck. You've never sold a single taco, but you've got a solid plan, good credit, and maybe a part-time income. That's basically how lenders view you. They don't care about your taco recipe. Yet, they want to know, can they trust you? That's what startup loans are all about. Number 2. What do lenders really look at? Let's pull back the curtain. When you apply for a startup business loan, lenders can't evaluate your business's past because there isn't one. So what do they judge you on? 2 things: your personal credit and your business plan. Yes, that credit card you forgot to pay 2 years ago. It matters. A score above 680 will open way more doors. But don't panic. If your credit isn't perfect, you still have options coming up. Now, the business plan? That's your story. It explains what your business is, who your customers are, how you'll make money, and what the loan will be used for. Think of it like a movie trailer. If the lender isn't hooked in the first 2 pages, they'll walk away. Number 3. SBA loans, the government-backed boost. You've probably heard of SBA loans. These are loans backed by the Small Business Administration. And here's the deal. They don't lend you the money directly. Instead, they partner with lenders to reduce the risk. That means lenders are more willing to approve people like you. 4. Startups. The most popular option is the SBA microloan. It offers up to $50,000. The average loan size? About $13,000. You can use it for working capital, inventory, equipment, just not for paying off debt or buying real estate. The catch: it takes time. SBA loans are not instant approval. They'll want your business plan, financial projections, and credit info. But if you're patient, it's one of the most affordable ways to fund your startup. Number 4. Business credit cards. The hidden shortcut. Yes, credit cards can be loans, if used smartly. Many new entrepreneurs start with business credit cards because they're easier to qualify for than big loans. Some even come with 0% interest for the first 12 to 18 months. That's like getting an interest-free loan, as long as you pay it back on time. Let's say you get a card with a $10,000 limit and 0% for 12 months. That's $10,000 of working capital without paying a dime in interest, if you manage it right. But be careful, this is not free money. It's easy to overspend when it feels like there's no cost. So only use this if you're confident in your budget and repayment plan. Number 5. Online lenders. Speed versus cost. Want money fast? Online lenders like Bluevine, Fundbox, and Lendio can get you approved in days, not weeks. They specialize in quick approvals, minimal paperwork, and flexible options. But here's the catch. They often charge higher interest rates. Think 15% or more. If you're building a business with quick returns, it could make sense. Example: you sell handmade candles and have a holiday rush coming. You need $5,000 now to buy supplies, and you know you'll make it back in 2 months. That kind of short-term loan can be worth it, but for long-term projects, these loans can get expensive. Number 6. Personal loans. When you're really just starting, sometimes your best option isn't even a business loan. It's a personal loan. Why? Because lenders don't ask about your business. They just want to know if you can repay the money. This works especially well if you don't have a registered business yet, or if your business hasn't made a dime. Let's say you have decent credit and a stable income. You could qualify for a personal loan of $10,000 or more. Use it to fund your startup. Then transfer the debt over to your business once it's up and running. It's a common strategy, and one that many successful entrepreneurs quietly use. Number 7. Business grants. Free money that's hard to get. Now this might sound like a dream. Free money you don't have to repay. And yes, grants for small businesses do exist. They come from government agencies, nonprofits, and corporations like FedEx or Visa. But here's the hard truth. Grants are extremely competitive. They often require detailed applications, community impact, or niche qualifications. Still, it's worth trying. You lose nothing by applying. Websites like grants.gov and Hello Alice post new opportunities regularly. And if you win even one, that's money in your pocket, completely loan-free. Number 8. Crowdfunding. Let the public fund you. Crowdfunding isn't just for tech gadgets. If you've got a unique idea, platforms like Kickstarter and Indiegogo let everyday people back your business. You offer them rewards, like early access or discounts, in exchange for their support. Example: a guy named John raised over $80,000 to open a board game cafe in his small town. He promised free drinks, exclusive game nights, and even custom mugs with donor names. No credit checks, no debt, just community support. But you've got to be good at storytelling and promotion. Crowdfunding success depends on how well you market your idea. Number 9. Friends and family, but handle with care. Asking your uncle or best friend for money. It sounds awkward, but it's common. Many businesses get their first loan from someone they know, but here's the rule. Treat it like a real loan. Put it in writing. Agree on the amount, the repayment schedule, and whether there's interest. If you don't handle it professionally, it could hurt your relationship, but when done right, it's often the most flexible and understanding funding you'll ever get. Because who else will support your dream like someone who already believes in you? Number 10. Build your business credit. Even before you borrow, here's something nobody tells you. You can start building business credit before you get a loan. How? Register your business with an EIN, employer identification number. Open a business bank account. Get a business phone number. Then apply for vendor credit. Accounts with companies like Uline or Quill that report to business credit bureaus. Pay on time, and you'll build credit under your business name. So when the day comes to apply for a real business loan, your company already has a reputation, even if you're still the only employee. Number 11. Common mistakes that kill your chances. Let's save you from the heartbreak. Here are a few things that can tank your loan application. No business plan. Mixing personal and business finances, applying for the wrong loan type, borrowing more than you need, having no repayment strategy. Imagine trying to get a $100,000 loan with zero revenue, no plan, and a credit score of 590. That's like applying to Harvard with finger paint on your resume. Know what you need, know how you'll use it, and show the lender you've thought it through. Number 12. Equipment financing. Use the gear as collateral. If your startup needs physical equipment, like computers, vehicles, or machinery, equipment financing can be a smart move. Instead of taking out a big loan for everything, the lender uses the equipment itself as collateral. That means if you don't pay, they take the equipment. But here's the upside. You might not need great credit. Because the lender can repossess the gear, they're more willing to take a chance on new business owners. Let's say you need a delivery van for your bakery startup. With equipment financing, you borrow the cost of the van and make monthly payments. Just like a car loan. When it's paid off, it's yours. It's one of the easiest ways to secure funding if you know exactly what your business needs. Number 13. Invoice financing. Borrow against what you're owed. Already doing some business, but waiting on clients to pay. That's where invoice financing comes in. Lenders give you a cash advance based on your unpaid invoices. It's not ideal for every startup, but if you're already making sales and waiting 30 to 60 days for payment, this can keep your cash flow alive. Example: a small marketing agency lands 3 clients, but each one pays on net 45 terms. Instead of struggling to cover payroll, the owner uses invoice financing to unlock 80% of that money immediately. It's fast, flexible, and perfect for service-based businesses with delayed payments. Number 14. Line of credit. Borrow only what you use. Think of a business line of credit like a credit card, but smarter. You get access to a pool of money, say $25,000, but you only pay interest on what you actually use. If you borrow $3,000, you pay interest on $3,000, not the whole $25,000. This is perfect for startups that deal with ups and downs, like seasonal businesses or product launches. Let's say you sell organic dog treats and have a big expo coming up. You need cash to prep inventory, but you don't want to take out a giant loan you won't fully use. A line of credit lets you borrow what you need, when you need it, and only pay for what you use. Number 15. Incubators and accelerators. Money plus mentorship. Want funding, mentorship, and free resources all in one? Look into startup incubators and accelerators. These programs offer seed money, office space, business training, and sometimes a chance to pitch to investors. In exchange, they may take a small piece of your company equity. Programs like Y Combinator and Techstars have launched massive companies, but there are hundreds of smaller local ones too. Example, a startup in a Detroit incubator received $20,000 in funding, free legal help, and access to marketing. Pros, all in the first 3 months. These programs are competitive, but if you get in, they're game changers. Number 16. Community development financial institutions. Local lenders who actually listen. CDFIs are mission-driven lenders that specialize in underserved communities and entrepreneurs who often get ignored by big banks. They focus more on your potential and story than just your credit score. They often offer smaller loans with flexible terms. Let's say you're a first-time entrepreneur launching a food cart in a lower-income neighborhood. A CDFI might be far more likely to back you than a traditional bank because their goal is community growth, not just profits. Find them through the Opportunity Finance Network or ask your local small business development center. Number 17. Peer-to-peer lending. Borrow from regular people. Instead of going to a bank, how about borrowing money from everyday people online? Peer-to-peer platforms like Lending Club and Prosper let investors fund your business loan in small chunks. The platform handles the payments. You get the money. The lenders get paid back with interest. These loans are often easier to qualify for than traditional ones and faster. You still need decent personal credit, but not perfect. It's like crowdsourcing your startup loan without giving up ownership. Number 18. Franchise financing. If you're not starting from scratch, want to own a business but skip the messy start from zero phase, franchises like Subway, UPS Store, or Anytime Fitness offer systems, support, and sometimes even financing options. Banks also love franchises. Why? Because they come with proven track records. Some lenders even specialize in franchise loans, which are easier to get than generic startup funding. Example, if you're opening a new franchise location for a national coffee brand, the brand's reputation helps you qualify for a loan, even if you're new to business. And there you have it. From SBA microloans to business credit cards, from personal loans to crowdfunding, there are more paths to funding your startup than you probably imagined. But remember, getting the money is just the beginning. The real magic happens when you use it wisely to build something that lasts. Now here's a question for you. If someone handed you $50,000 right now to start your business, what's the first thing you do with it? Let me know in the comments.